Hello, and welcome to the Nebraska Department of Education School Violence video series. Today's topic is why we track school behavior data. There are 10 videos in the school violence video series. We encourage you to watch these videos in order as school teams. However, they can be watched by individuals as standalone. My name is Heather Robbins, and I'll be your host throughout this series. Our purpose today is to describe the history of tracking school behavior data, and then to talk about our purpose for tracking school behavior data now. Schools have tracked behavior data for many years. Historically, schools tracked behavior data so they could report behavior data to their state Department of Education, who in turn reported that data to the federal government. Most times, and most reportable behavior data has to do with when students are suspended or expelled from school. Also, schools tracked school behavior data to record individual data so they could look at the number of instances for an individual student. Unfortunately, sometimes that individual data resulted in determining our response to what was happening with the student, which often led to suspension and expulsion. We know suspension can result in lower achievement, a higher likelihood of dropping out, which results in high risk for students as they move on in life. So we've changed why we track behavior data. We used to track school behavior data to report and to record individual occurrences. Now we want to track behavior data so we can see what's occurring along the way, and we can engage in prevention and intervention activities. We want to use the school-wide behavior data for problem solving, solution building, so that we can prevent future instances or issues. Historically, schools tracked major behavior data. Major behavior data typically are events that are unsafe or dangerous and result in suspension or expulsion. But we now encourage schools to track minor incidents. We encourage schools to track minor things that are occurring because minor things can be percolating events. And if we're aware of the minor percolating events, we can put in place intervention and prevention strategies so that the minor incidents do not accumulate, so that the minor incidents do not become more intense over time. There is something called the October catch. Research demonstrates that 50% of students who had 6 or more office discipline referrals during the course of the year already had 2 or more office discipline referrals by the end of October. And 79% had 2 or more by the end of December. So if we can identify our students who are having issues on campus, we can determine what the issues are, and we can put in place prevention plans. We can install intervention strategies, and we can possibly prevent future instances. So we want to make sure we're collecting minor incidents for our campus so that we have information to address our school-wide issues, and we also want to make sure we're collecting major incident data so we can know who might need support from us, and we can in turn put in place the supports that the youth require. So here are some questions for you to consider. How do you collect behavior data on your campus? What's your purpose for collecting behavior data? Is your purpose to report and you only look at it annually? Or is your purpose to problem solve and put in place solution plans? And do you look at it monthly so you can see what's happening from month to month, and you can assess how the intervention or prevention strategies that you're engaging in are improving outcomes for students? What data do you collect? Do you collect minors, or do you collect majors only? What might need to be improved in your tracking system so you can effectively use incident data to build solution plans? We encourage you to pause the video and take a few moments to reflect on these questions. Welcome back. So once we collect this minor incident data and we collect this major incident data, what do we do with it? We use it for problem solving and solution building so we can have positive outcomes for students and teachers on our campus. An example of this might include something at the minor level that perhaps the school identifies that there's an issue with minor physical contact. And then the school analyzes the information that was collected and discovers that, yes, there's minor instances of physical contact, and they are occurring with 7th and 8th graders in the hallways at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So now, having collected the data, the school is able to pinpoint and make a precise problem statement rather than just saying, we have issues with minor physical contact. Now they have some information. So then they can say, what can we do about this? And maybe they put in place a solution plan. So the plan might be something like, we are going to reteach hallway expectations to 7th and 8th graders. We are going to increase our visibility and our hallway supervision plan at 2 o'clock in particular. We are going to reinforce students for following the expectations that we have taught. And perhaps the school might have hypothesized, why are students doing this? Maybe they need a bit of a break in the afternoon. We're going to give them a brain break right before they're released to the hallway so they have some energy that's let out before they go out into the hall. So the school has identified a broad issue, then analyzed it and narrowed the scope, and then written a solution plan to directly impact what they see has and know has been happening through their data. Then the school implements the plan and gives the plan some time to work, determines how long that will be, and perhaps they decide to check in 2 to 4 weeks. So then the school team would check in and they would first ask themselves, hey, did we do our plan? Did we reteach the expectations to students? Did we acknowledge students for engaging in appropriate behavior in the hallway? Did we increase our hallway supervision? Did we remember to give them a brain break right before they were dismissed? If the answer is yes, we've done all those steps, then they look at the data and they say, hey, is this solution plan working? Are we decreasing incidents of minor physical contact at 2 o'clock with the 7th and 8th graders? And they look at the data that they've collected, they analyze it, and they determine, yes, it's working, we've had a reduction, or no, it's not working, but we're seeing a trend down, so we're just going to keep doing the plan. Or maybe they determined this was not the right plan and we need to address it in a different way. But they use the information to address minor incidents so they prevent those incidents from in turn percolating and growing over time. They intervene and they use the data for prevention. Schools need to know the patterns if they're going to problem solve, if they're going to prevent future issues. If they're going to intervene early, they have to know what is happening. And they also need to know what is happening so they can respond more effectively across the adults on campus. Our purpose today was to describe the history of tracking school behavior data and now to outline the purpose of tracking behavior data. We encourage you to visit the Nebraska School Safety site, located at the URL on the screen, for more information on school safety. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next video.